We're getting into the amazing Paul Thorn, and You Might Be Wrong.
Okay. I was reading an article in a newspaper on an airplane one time, and I was reading an interview with our former president, Bill Clinton, and he said something that stuck in my head. He said, "Whatever you believe, you might be wrong," and that stuck in my head, and I think that's really true. And so here's a song called "You Might Be Wrong." Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and Jews got their own version of the truth. There's a line in the sand, there's a war going on. They forgot to remember, you might be wrong. Carry your faith everywhere you go. Mix it with love and let it show. But keep your mind open as you move along. And always remember, you might be wrong. Why do we argue? Why do we fight? Everybody thinks God's on their side. Just count to 10 before you throw a stone. Whatever you believe, you might be wrong.
I love Paul Thorn, and I love the way Paul can take very deep concepts and put them across in a very simple way. You know, he really breaks things down. He has a real way with words, and I love how he does that with these kind of classic bluesy, folky country songs. You know, it's masterful. The complexity in the simplicity of what he does is genius. The guy is absolutely brilliant. And the message here, if you might be wrong, it's such an amazing philosophy to live your life by, isn't it? If you always keep that in your head, you know, you can have your convictions and your beliefs and what you think is right, but you might be wrong. Things change. Like a scientific fact can change. You know what I mean? We used to think that it used to be a scientific fact the world was flat. You know, now we know it isn't, and it isn't. But I might be wrong. But it's, if you keep that in mind when you meet people, when you debate people, you start to put less emotion into it and start to look at things more objectively and kind of stand back rather than dying on every hill on what you think of, you know, like just because some things that you believe, you just overheard in a pub one time, or if something somebody you respected told you when you were young, they were wrong, you know, but you've got it in your head of this is a fact. And then when somebody debates that, you get real angry about it and never consider that you might be wrong. You might be wrong, you know, and it's a really helpful thing. We can all fall into it, can't we, of being really adamant on something. But if you keep that in the back of your mind, you will be so free to expand your mind and learn. Because if you're set in your ways and if you're always right, then the people who are right are never going to get through to you. And there's always someone who knows more on the subject than you do. So just listen, you know, and just say, I might be wrong, they might be wrong, and just take everything with a pinch of salt and just have a softer like makeup in your brain. You know what I mean? Just let your brain like give and take, give it some room to develop, rather than rigid boundaries of like, this is how life is and this is what I know and I know what I know and I'm saying what I say because I know what I know. Stop it. You might be wrong. You know? I'm just going to jump in the chat real quick. First day of medical school, professor said half of what we'll teach you here will turn out to be wrong someday. Exactly. All religions are based on, and love should be what we all spread. And in my opinion, God is love. Love is God. Absolutely. In my opinion, God is just another word for love. I don't personally subscribe to any religion myself, but that's how I take it when people say they're sending prayers or like, you know, pray to God for me, they're saying they love me, you know. That's how I kind of take that, and I think that's a reciprocal thing, you know. And that's what it should be. I'm frequently wrong according to my kids, but yeah, what is true today might not be true tomorrow or next week. Perspectives evolve even in our own beliefs. Exactly that.
Just count to 10 before you throw a stone. Whatever you believe, you might be wrong. Don't cut me off, don't say we're through just because I don't agree with you. You see, flowers grow where seeds of love are sown. You could be right, you might be wrong. Why don't we argue? Why don't we fight? Everybody thinks God's on their side. Just count to 10 before you throw a stone. Whatever you believe, you might be wrong. What's on the other side of life? I won't know until the day I die. If you feel insecure, you are not alone. 'Cause everybody knows you might be wrong. Why don't we argue? Why do we fight? Everybody thinks God's on their side. Just count to 10 before you throw a stone. Whatever you believe, you might be wrong. That'll get me kicked out of my family.
Paul Thorn, ladies and gentlemen. I love the humor. I love everything that guy's about. I think it's such a simple message that's so powerful that I think anybody should be able to understand, right? But I might be wrong. But, you know, if everybody thought like that, I think the world would be a much more peaceful place. But I might be wrong. I'm going to stop saying that after every statement I make. But I'll never stop thinking it. And this song has very much reinforced that belief in my mind. So I really, really appreciate you requesting this. Sam Snips in the chat. Good man. Paul Thorn, always sending my way. I absolutely love his music. The guy's a legend. Always enjoy his music.